The Russian S-500 anti-aircraft missile system, SAM, according to the authors of the Chinese edition of Sohu, has become the most powerful in the world today. This is reported on the portal's website. After the S-400, Russia immediately began to develop a completely new S-500 air defense system. Its launch reflects the foresight of the military's decision to focus on the development of anti-aircraft missile systems, the article says. The author of the material also described the S-500 air defense system as a new shield of the future Russian aerospace defense. According to media reports, the armament of the Russian Federation can be called a powerful response to Washington's space strategy. The S-500 should become the basis of the Russian aerospace defense system and lead a new generation of air defense systems, the publication stressed. Earlier, the Russian Defense Ministry published footage of the use of the Tor M2 air defense system in the zone of a special military operation. The Russian C-500 air defense system has become a powerful response to the U.S. space strategy. Sohu, Russian C-500 with a new shield called the most powerful SAM in the world. S-500 Russian anti-aircraft missile system. Let's learn a little about this weapon. A new generation of anti-aircraft missile systems, in which it is supposed to apply the principle of separately solving the tasks of destroying ballistic and aerodynamic targets. On May 25, 2021, President Putin said, in the aerospace forces, more than 70% of anti-aircraft missile regiments have been re-equipped with modern S-400 systems. The next step is the delivery of the S-500 complex to the troops, the tests of which are already being successfully completed. On August 23, 2021, Deputy Prime Minister of the Russian Federation Yuri Borisov announced that the S-500 system is being mass-produced. In the fall of 2021, S-500 systems began to enter the Russian armed forces. On April 25, 2022, the General Director of the Almaz-Antey concern, Yan Novikov, announced the launch of serial production of the S-500 in Russia and clarified that the SAM would enter the troops within the time limits determined by the State Defense Order. The S-500 can be used both for the defense of Moscow and in any other theater of military operations. It can be transferred on board military transport aircraft. It moves on a wheeled chassis. This makes it possible to deliver Prometheus to any point of the country in a short time and strengthen missile defense there. The S-500 Prometheus mobile air defense system is being created to destroy rockets and spacecraft in near-Earth orbits, and can eliminate targets flying at hypersonic. 40 N-6S will fight aerodynamic targets. 77 N-6S with conventional and nuclear warheads will be used to defeat ballistic missiles in the trans-atmospheric area and in near space. The designations of other ammunition have not yet been named. Perhaps an anti-missile, similar in capabilities to the Mine 53 T-6M, will become one of the missile defense echelons of the S-500. The S-500 can use information received from missile attack warning stations, SPRN, work both in a single air defense system, interacting with the S-400 and S-300, and OTAN. The main task of the complex is to combat the combat equipment of medium-range ballistic missiles. It is independently possible to intercept a BRSD with a launch range of up to 3,500 km and, if necessary, intercontinental ballistic missiles, on the final section of the trajectory, and, within certain limits, on the middle section. Certain regions, large cities, industrial facilities, and priority strategic goals should be protected from these weapons of destruction. Also, among the tasks of the anti-aircraft complex are the destruction of hypersonic cruise missiles, aircraft, and UAVs of both conventional high-altitude and hypersonic missiles with a speed of 5 m and above, the destruction of low-orbit satellites and space weapons launched from hypersonic aircraft, hypersonic attack UAVs and orbital platforms. 9. With a planned range of 600 km, the missile defense system will be able to detect and simultaneously hit up to 10 ballistic supersonic targets flying at speeds up to 7 km per second, as well as hit. The S-500 is also supposed to be used as protection of Russia's mine ICBMs from means of attack, S-500 missiles with maneuvering blocks clarify with their own radars for kinetic strike destruction, as S-500, are capable of shooting down missiles, delivering missile defense means to defeat ICBMs on the most vulnerable acceleration section of the trajectory, until the separation of warheads and the release of false targets. The height of the destruction of missiles and maneuvering kinetic blocks S-500 reaches 200 km unauthorized source, which is enough to cover an ICBM with acceleration along a flat trajectory that starts from 100 km of the upper boundary of the atmosphere. According to national interest, the S-500 is expected to be able to intercept up to 10 warheads coming from space at the same time. The S-500 is integrated into a single network with the S-400, S-300 VM4, and E-2500, and S-350, Vishes, systems, forming a comprehensive air defense system. Development. The beginning of work on the creation of the fifth-generation air defense system was laid by an engineering note in 2002 indicating the necessary parameters, and NPO Almaz decided on the initial appearance of the new weapon. From 2004 to 2006, the NGO conducted research under the code designations VLASLAN. In August 2011, the preliminary design stage was completed, technical design continues. As of November 2013, according to the commander of the East Kazakhstan Region Troops, Major General Alexander Golovko, Almaz-Antey Corporation has already manufactured individual system tools and started testing them. Work on the creation of the system as a whole is planned to be completed in the near future, and the first serial sample should be delivered to the troops in a few years. The 40N6M, 77N6N and 77N6H1 missiles for the S-500 complex will start arriving in 2014 to 2015. At the end of February 2014, the chairman of the Presidium of the Expert Council of Aerospace Defense I Ashur Bailai stated that there was a lag in the terms of development. In the spring of 2017, the Commander-in-Chief of the Aerospace Forces Viktor Bondarev said that the S-500 complex is being developed at an accelerated pace and will enter service with the Russian Air Defense Forces in the near future, and the Military Academy of Aerospace Defense has already begun training specialists to work with this complex. On May 8, 2019, Deputy Defense Minister Alexei Krivorushko in an interview with the National Defense magazine said that the conclusion of a state contract for the purchase of S-500 is scheduled for 2021 with delivery in 2025. On May 28, 2019, the editor-in-chief of the magazine Arms Export Andriy Frolov reported that the S-500 Prometheus air defense systems require protection with short and medium-range complexes, in particular, Buks, Tori and Pantsir-S. Since they are not covered by short and medium-range systems of the S-500 can be easily destroyed by relatively simple means of attack. June 19, 2019 Deputy Director General for Scientific and Technical Development, First Deputy. Structure S-500 contains controls, combat control point, anti-aircraft part, anti-missile part.